How are we, everybody? Welcome along to tonight's stream, the late night agenda. And do you know what? Tonight is going to be a Sadio Mane appreciation stream. There's a couple more bits and pieces we need to get through, obviously. But all in all, I thought it about time that we take a minute to have a chat about our Senegalese superstar. And we'll get into that in more detail, obviously, as the stream goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Want to apologise for last night. There was a mass internet outage in certain parts of Ireland. Obviously, I was affected. Mr. Crosby was affected. So last night's late night agenda cut off abruptly after about 40 minutes. So again, do apologise for that one. But welcome. Great to see you all back. Thank you for giving us your time again. And yeah, let's start getting through it. We've loads to get through, as always, because things move quick and fast around Liverpool Football Club. Keane Foley, how are you, mate? Or Fowley, excuse me. Welcome back in. Cape Town Muslim, how are you, sir? Double win for the Reds in December, by the way. Manager and Player of the Month awards for Jurgen Klopp and Trent Alexander-Arnold, respectively, which is brilliant and well deserved. I mean, Trent put in an unbelievable performance in the month, and when your team goes unbeaten and practically, I think, wins every game in December, it's pretty obvious that Kloppo should be up there. I mean, there are some good managers with some good records in the Premier League, but I do think it's fair in December that Jurgen Klopp and Trent Alexander-Arnold were given those awards, so congratulations to both of them. For all you FIFA players out there, by the way, a little bit of news on Takumi Minamino. He's been given an upgrade after signing for Liverpool. His overall rating has gone up from 76 to 77. His potential has risen from 80 to 81, and his work rate has increased from medium to high. What does that mean, I hear you ask? I've got no fucking idea, ladies and gentlemen. I don't play FIFA. I'm not down with the cool kids, but I just thought I'd share that with you as well. Connor said internet's gone the second the stream starts. That's what you get for being the culture, mate, and living in the arsehole of nowhere. Move up to civilization with the rest of us, Mr. Crosby. What a photo of Sadio. The man's a don, isn't he? Do you know what can I say, Joshua? He is an absolute baller. Look at him sitting there with his African Footballer of the Year award. I mean, Connor said to me, I wonder can Serendipity Furniture make him one of those chairs? It would be pretty nice, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm sure the good folks at Serendipity would have a bash at it anyway. Ryan said 75 to 77. It said 76 to 77 in the article I read, Ryan, but I don't play the game, mate. As I said, I just said I'd report that little bit of news because I know that there's a lot of FIFA players amongst our chat. Loads to get through, as I said. Another piece of news that I missed out and giving you guys last night. The FA Cup 4th round tie away to either Bristol City or Shrewsbury will now take place on Sunday, January the 26th at 5pm, and it will be shown on BBC One. So that's good news for everyone. That game will be free to air in the UK and Ireland. Again, just to reiterate, it will now take place on January the 26th at 5pm, and we just await the winners of that tie to know who will be playing. Sadio looks like the new Tony Montana. Yes, he looks cool as fuck, doesn't he? What have he? He'd be 82 minimum come the next FIFA, said Cameron with regards to Takumi Minamino. Craig, all my mates worship you, said Marley. Mate, I don't know what to say. Thank you for watching, and thank you to your mates for watching. It's great to have you with us. Really do appreciate all the support that we get on the channel. If you hear this noise, by the way, it's just me clapping my hands. I know you can't see it where the microphone is. Daniel Thompson, welcome in, buddy. Is Fabinho back for tomorrow? No, is the answer that I've led to be believed, Mr. Big LC. I think he's trained, he's done a little bit of running. Klopp did give an update on the players. I think the closest one back is probably Shaqiri, based off what Klopp said. He did say that perhaps even the Manchester United game might be too soon for some of the lads, but they all have tailored individual training programs, obviously, and we're just going to have to wait and see. Yeah, but we are kind of down to the bare bones. I think Kloppo said he had 12 senior players available or something like that for the last game, or 12 senior outfield players. Kev said, Salam alaikum from Marrakesh. Kev on his holidays with the family. Welcome back in, Kev. Great to see you. I hope the family are well, and I hope you're enjoying beautiful Marrakesh. Kev sent me a couple of pictures, and it looks pretty damn nice, I'm not going to lie. Yusuf said, I went to Liverpool versus Salzburg, the 4-3 game. Belter of a game, that, mate. 3-0 up, back to 3-all. The game that possibly got us to sign Takumi Minamino. Sligo, Bristol City fan, love your channel, been watching for months, said Russell Hibbert. Russell, thank you, mate. And yeah, best of luck with that replay against Shrewsbury, mate, or Shrewsbury. And we await the winners of that tie. But thank you, Russell. Great to hear you enjoy the streams, mate, and welcome. Daniel Thompson, how are you? Say loads of new people popping in tonight. It's a pleasure to chat with you all. Thank you. Bruno to Manchester United, I don't know is the honest answer. There are some pictures doing the rounds of a player in the back of a people carrier. It looked a little bit like Skriniar to me, but there are some rumours going around that United are back in for Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, they were linked with him, as were we all last summer. And I don't know. I don't really keep too much of an eye on Manchester United transfers, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Even if they do sign Fernandes or Skriniar, they're still going to be shit, to be fair. There's a big rebuilding job needed there. Yusuf, thanks for reading my comment. You're very welcome, mate. You were very welcome. Scotty said, Klopp said Milner and Keita are out for the game against United also. Well, then there you go. As I said, we are down to the bare bones, but that's alright. We'll get through. We are champions elect, as I like to say. We're back in business, said Mr. Crosby. His internet's up and running. He's put another 50 pence in the meter. Well done, Connor. Megan Onke, how are you, sir? It has been a while. Great to see you back. Yusuf said I subbed and hit the bell. Thank you, Yusuf. Really appreciate that, my friend. And Liz Golden as well is in the house. How are we? Right. As I said, tonight is going to be a Sadio Mane appreciation stream. So let me just get myself set up. And I'm going to give you guys the reasons that I believe Sadio Mane should be named Premier League Player of the Year for this season. Now, he's just been named CAF African Footballer of the Year and must be in consideration for the Premier League award. In my opinion, Sadio Mane has been the standout performer in a Liverpool team filled with unbelievable quality. Obviously, a lot of the attention sometimes goes to his teammate Mohamed Salah, who was absolutely unbelievable in recent seasons as well. But this year, for me, I think it has to be Sadio. There are some really good performances being put in the Premier League. We can't just brush aside the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, who's having a fantastic season. Jamie Vardy, who's banging in goals for fun as well at Leicester City. And Liverpool players have no divine right to win this award. I don't, even as biased as I am as a Liverpool fan, I don't think we have a divine right to win the award. But I'm going to give you an argument as to why I believe Sadio Mane should win it. As you guys know, I'm not somebody that regularly uses statistics on the stream because there are people infinitely more qualified than myself who understand statistics and that type of analysis much better than myself. But I did come across a couple of basic stats that I think will help my argument for Sadio Mane to be crowned Premier League Player of the Year. So, Sadio has 11 goals and 6 assists to his name this season, and only Kevin De Bruyne and Jamie Vardy have more goal contributions so far. But Sadio Mane's 11 goals for Liverpool have won Liverpool 12 points, which is the same as a couple of other players, but his less goals have gotten us more points, if you get where I'm coming from. So those couple of little things alone, along with my own personal opinion and what I've seen from Sadio Mane and the love that he's getting from Liverpool fans around the world, there seems to be a bit of a buzz building right now. I've read a couple of things and articles in the likes of Sky Sports News and stuff that are kind of starting to push this little thing now that maybe it is Sadio's year. Last season, he had a great season, but as I said, the highlight last season was, of course, the performance of Virgil van Dijk in that Liverpool defence. Absolutely sensational. What else have we got in Sadio Mane? Yes, there was one more thing on this I wanted to touch on before I come over to the chat as well. So, what I don't want to happen, and what has happened in previous months, and I think as Liverpool fans we need to cut this shit out, we need to stop comparing two players. So we need to stop saying, is it Sadio Mane or is it Mohamed Salah? And I think it often we let opposition fans kind of steer this conversation a little bit. We don't need to be comparing them both. As Liverpool fans, we're fortunate enough to have them both at our club, so we get to enjoy them both. Yeah, there are times you want to compare them. Maybe you're talking about one of them getting a rest and you think which one is more suited to playing a particular game. But all in all, leave that to other people. Let's just enjoy having them both at the club. We don't need to figure out if one of them is better than the other one. All we need to do, sit back, relax, enjoy having Sadio Mane, enjoy having Mohamed Salah, enjoy having Bobby Firmino, and hell, we have Takumi Minamino to look forward to now as well. So yeah, look, that's my argument as to why I think that Sadio Mane should be named, nearly a slip of the tongue there, Sadio Mane should be named Premier League Player of the Year for this season. There are other contenders, as I said, in Jamie Vardy and Kevin De Bruyne, and very good contenders who are having an amazing season. But even though I went a couple of minutes ago and said I don't think Liverpool players have any divine right to win the award, when we are so far ahead in the league as we are, I don't know, it would just seem a shame to me if a Liverpool player didn't pick up the award. But hey, I am a little bit biased, as I said. Brian said, if I was picking a Liverpool player of the year, I'd go for Trent. Look, there's no denying Trent's having a belter of a season. And I think he will win this award going forward at some point. And I can understand your argument, Brian. Yeah, well, not argument, your point of view, mate. Right, what else we got? Somebody asked me something about... Where was it? Somebody asked me something there about... Where's he gone? Where is he? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Craig, bias aside, do you think Hazard at his best would be better than Salah or Mane? It's a really difficult question, Ibrahim, because I still to this day think that Eden Hazard's performance for Chelsea at Anfield was one of the best that I've seen. One of the best away performances I've ever seen. And on his day, Eden Hazard can be unplayable. There's no doubt about that. It's just you don't get enough of those days for me with Eden Hazard. I think he's a very moody type of player, if you get where I'm coming from. You don't always get what he's capable of. And look, I suppose you could say you don't get that with all players, but I think you get a little bit more consistency with the likes of Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. But I won't ever deny the quality of Eden Hazard, mate. I just personally, and this is just a personal thing, I wouldn't want him at my football club. He's not my type of player. He's not really somebody that I feel like I could get behind. And what I look for in a Liverpool player, and I think this is something a lot of fans want, first and foremost, is effort. And you want to know that they've left it all out there on the pitch. Sometimes, I don't know, with Hazard, you don't really get that. For me, he downed tools a couple of times when he wasn't happy with the managerial situation at Chelsea. And he hasn't really lit the world alight at Real Madrid yet. Now he is settling into a new league. He has had a couple of injuries, so got to give him a break on that one. But I wouldn't swap him for those two. On his day, he could put in a better performance than either of them. Yes, on his day, at his absolute best, peak performance, Eden Hazard could be better than either of those two. But I just think consistently, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah put in better performances, so I wouldn't swap them. But that's my honest opinion. I would give Trent Young Player of the Year, said Dave Smith. That's a really good shout, that, Dave. Again, another category that there's a lot of good players in, a lot of good young players in the Premier League. Ken Coastal Holidays, Carl, how are you? Is in the house, welcome. Anfield Agenda should be named Fan Channel of the Year. Well, when the FBAs, when the Football Blogging Awards are announced, or when the applications are open, don't be shy about putting us forward, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, give us a fucking award. We deserve an award. Surely we deserve an award. Obviously my brilliance deserves an award. No, not really, but it would be nice, to be fair, at some point to be nominated for one. I'm not somebody that would do this whole here's a link, vote for us kind of stuff. It's not my neck of the woods, really. It's not the type of thing that I do. But yeah, any award that we get, I'll just give to Connor anyway down the line. We said this about the YouTube award. If we ever get to 100k, I just want to have a look at it and then go, there you go, Connor, you've earned that, buddy, well done. Would you take Alain Saint-Maximin? I think he'd be world class. Again, I want to just wait and see if he's going to have consistency, Ibrahim. There's no denying that he's gone through a bit of a purple patch. Obviously, I think he's injured at the minute, if my memory's right, but he does look good. But is it just a flash in the pan? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Looks like Mane bought a chair from Serendipity. It's a whopper, said Patbot. It is a belter, isn't it? It really is. Imagine that now in my council house. That'd look fucking sweet, wouldn't it? Lens-based media said, I think Mane is the most unstoppable player I've seen in recent years. Not necessarily in skill and tricks, but the fact he's relentless, never stops, full of intensity, Terminator-like. I like that, mate. Yeah, Sadio, I said this about Bobby Firmino as well. He's the type of player who sometimes drives me demented. I'm looking at him going, oh my, how did you miss that? What did you do there? Wrong selection, mate. And then 2 minutes later, he'll do something that my jaw hits the ground and I'm just sitting back going, how the fuck did you do that? But that's part of the appeal of Sadio Mane, isn't it? I remember when we signed him from Southampton, there was a lot of humming and hawing. Is he really the right player? Has he hit his ceiling? Would he be able to take us on to the next level? Anyone who's doubted him has been made to look like a fool. Sadio Mane is absolutely unplayable lately, and I'm so privileged and proud to be able to watch him put on that red shirt week after week. Looks like Kloppo is going to sack Ollie, said Cape Town Muslim. Hopefully we give them a hiding, but hopefully he stays in the job, because the longer that lad is managing that club, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere under him. You've been at the cough syrup. Why you ask that, mate? No cough syrup. Diet Coke, as always. Cheers. But yeah, no cough syrup. I'm just in a good mood today, mate. It's been a good day for me. I saved a few quid on something, and that always puts me in a good mood. Luke Jackson, hey Craig, any predictions for you for a big player move to any team for January? Actually, before I forget, and thank you to Douglas for letting me know about this as well, Aston Villa have agreed a deal to bring Pepe Reina, yep, you heard me right, Pepe Reina, my doppelganger, back to the Premier League on a loan spell, I think, to the end of the season. So it's going to be great to see Pepe Reina back in the Premier League. What's my predicted midfield three for the Spurs game? Asked Rachel Mason. I've kind of been humming and hawing on this one. Let me pull my team up for 1 sec so you guys can see on the image, because I still have it here from yesterday. So bear with me for 1 second. Right, there you go. So there's my prediction for the team and my score prediction for the game against Spurs tomorrow. I've gone for Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Van Dijk and Gomez centre back pairing, Andy Robertson obviously at left back, Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, and I've gone a little bit balls out and gone for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to be the attacking midfielder in our team, and then it's Mane, Salah and Firmino. But the more I've thought about my original team selection, the more I started to question myself. Maybe I'm being a little bit too attacking here. Maybe drop Adam Lallana in there. Or throw in a wild card. Maybe even throw in Curtis Jones for that third position. I can't see anybody dislodging Gini Wijnaldum and Jordan Henderson there, particularly with the injuries that we have mounting up in midfield. So it looks like it will be a shootout between Chamberlain, Lallana, maybe Curtis Jones, unless Klopp tweaks the system. It's a difficult one to know, and it's very difficult to second guess Jurgen Norbert Klopp, but that's my attempt at an 11 for tomorrow anyway, and I've gone for a 3-1 victory for the Reds. It could well be a lower scoring game if Mourinho sets up to park the bus and play a low block, but I think that we've developed enough as a team and played against enough low blocks that if he does try and park the bus, Spurs fans won't be too happy about it, and I think we can just about figure it out. I think we can just about get our way around it. I mean, as Klopp said, it's about creating moments on the pitch and putting those defensive systems into situations that make them uncomfortable and freeing up a little bit of space on the far side. Would you wear a wig? I have worn a wig. There's actually a picture of me floating around with a wig from the Champions League final stream. It looked like doing my best Carlos Puyol impression. Danny said that's my lineup. If Fab's not in it, Fabinho won't be in it, mate. He's definitely not ready for tomorrow. How bad is Milner's injury? Not ready for this game. Potentially not ready for the United game. But after that, I think he'd be good to go. Jones for Oxlade-Chamberlain. But I love Oxlade-Chamberlain, said Ryan Walsh. Yeah, I mean, I always want to try and shoehorn Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain into any team, Ryan, because I love him. And I think that you can get the defensive stuff you need from Jordan Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum if you need to have two kind of defensive midfielders in there. And that gives Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain the freedom to kind of play in off either side. Who are we most likely to sign in January? I don't think anybody, Bassett, if I'm being honest, mate. Obviously, we brought in Takumi Minamino. We brought in, is it Joe Hardy, that young striker from Brentford. After that, mate, I don't really see us doing much business, to be fair. Ryan Brewster's gone out on loan to Swansea. Yeah, I don't see us bringing in too many, if I'm being honest, mate. No Kane, no goals for Spurs. That's what Stephen Soar said. Well, they do have options there, to be fair, mate. Obviously, Son is a danger. Dele Alli's rediscovered some form under Jose Mourinho, so got to watch out for him as well. But I said this on Twitter. I think deep down, Mourinho is a little bit bitter about the fact that he never got a chance to manage Liverpool Football Club. If my memory serves me correct, right back in the day when we were given the job to Rafael Benitez, I think the final two that they were looking at were between Rafael Benitez and Jose Mourinho. And I think Mourinho might be a little bit bitter that he never got that job. It's like he always wants to step up against us and prove a point. You remember when his Chelsea team, the infamous Gerrard slip, how much he celebrated that, even though it was kind of a nothing thing for them at the time. He loves to frustrate Liverpool, and I think he loves us deep down, you know. I think Jose Mourinho, at the bottom of his little heart, wants to be the Liverpool manager and really does hate the fact that he never got the job. That's just my opinion on it, though, and there's no denying that Mourinho, at his best, is a very, very good manager. I won't ever deny that. But I'm glad he never got a chance to manage Liverpool Football Club. I'm glad Rafael Benitez got that job. Pranav, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said predicted 11. Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Hendo, Gini, Lallana, Mo, Mane, Bobby, and 2-1 to the Reds. Yeah, I think that's the same team as myself, except you've dropped Lallana in there instead of Chambo, and no arguments for me, mate. I could completely understand that 11 going out. Rabadam, as always, mate, you were so generous. Thank you for the super chat. Said we should sign Fernandes to piss off United. The thing about Bruno Fernandes, I've seen moments and glimpses of his quality, but nobody's been really knocking down Sporting Lisbon's door to get that deal done. He was available last summer, and nobody really pulled the trigger. I wonder why. I have doubts about him. I don't know. There's something about him to me that just makes me doubt that he will be able to make it in the Premier League. I could well be proved wrong. I'm open to being proved wrong. But I don't think he would be right fit for us at this moment in time. Whether he goes to United or not, I don't know. Football Genius 77 said, "Hey Craig, do you have the new Club World Cup kit?" No, I don't. I'm humming and hawing about whether to buy it, mate, because obviously I have this season's home shirt. I don't wear the away shirt because it's white, and white doesn't really suit me, to be fair. So yeah, I don't know. I find it hard to justify buying another version of a shirt I already own. I was hoping that they would put the goalkeeper shirt on sale with the Club World Cup badge in it, but as of yet, that doesn't seem to be an option. If that becomes an option, then I'll probably buy that. What have we got? VAR disallowed West Ham late winner. That was 1-0 to Sheffield United actually before I started the stream, so I guess they equalised. What have we got? Oh, an equaliser. Sorry, there you go. Do you think the young Irish lad Troy Parrott might play against us? I really don't know what to say there, mate. Maybe. Maybe he'll get minutes off the bench. I doubt he'll start. Maybe he'll get minutes off the bench, yeah. I don't know. It's a little bit too early for maybe to be dropped in such a big game. Ibrahim said, "Craig, it saddens me that people forget how good Oxlade-Chamberlain is. He was unstoppable before the Champions League injury." Yes, and I'll never forget, mate. I'm so happy to have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at this football club. And nothing makes me smugger than remembering when we signed him and Arsenal fans thought that they'd mugged us off for the amount that we paid for him. I tell you what, he has paid that back in some. And I think he's going to go on to have an unbelievable career at Liverpool Football Club. I love Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I love his attitude. I love the forcefulness at which he plays the game. I love the fact he's not scared about having a shot from outside the box. I love everything about the guy. He just looks like a breath of fresh air to have around the club, and everybody seems to love him. Stephen Booker said, "Won't have these shirt problems when Nike take over." Yeah, there is the one critique, if that's the right word, mate, about New Balance, is that I've liked what they've done. I've really, really enjoyed the shirts they've put out, the trainers, the training gear. Supply has seemed to be an issue at times. There's no denying that. They're like the goalkeeper shirt. You showed that goalkeeper shirt to any Liverpool fan and they would have told you immediately that that was going to be a bestseller, that black goalkeeper shirt was going to be really, really, really popular, and it sold out too quickly, and then it took far too long to get back in stock. And I'm sure this frustrated the club as well, because of course they would have wanted as many Liverpool shirts to be sold as possible, for obviously reasons financially and for the fact that they want as many Liverpool shirts being worn out and about as possible. So I've no doubt that this would have played into their thoughts when they were looking at the deal with Nike and New Balance. And yeah, I agree. I don't think we're going to have that issue. I do agree with you, mate. Mourinho said Liverpool was the biggest club in the world. He's right. We are. Biggest, best. And look, United fans will come at me now and say, "You're not the fucking biggest club in the world. We make more money. We've got a bigger stadium." Yeah, but you're shit. And right now, we're hot property. That's my argument with that one. What have we got? Dugout said that handball rule for VAR is an absolute joke. I agree. And here's why I agree with you, Douglas. You can't have two different fucking rules for the same thing. Why should a handball in one part of the pitch for an attacking player be different for a handball from a defensive player? A handball should be a handball. Shouldn't matter where on the pitch it is. It shouldn't matter if it's a defender or it shouldn't matter if it's an attacker. To have made it that there's two different rules for handball, I think it's crazy. I really, really do think it's crazy, mate. If my memory serves me correct, this all goes back to the Sergio Aguero goal that he scored for Manchester City, where he was sliding along the ground and it hit the side of his body, and I think it hit this part of his arm or elbow and went into the goal. I remember one being ruled out for Divock Origi, if my memory serves me correctly, a while back as well. That would have been going in, but it accidentally struck his hand, and it wouldn't have made any difference that it struck his hand because it was going in one way or the other. Yeah, they're trying to reinvent the game by making their own rules hypocritical, Doug. It doesn't sit well with me either, mate. I do like some of the changes that they've made to the rules in football. I love the goal kicks, that they can be taken short. It used to annoy the shit out of me when a goalkeeper tried to take a quick goal kick. The defender realised he was under pressure, stepped back into the 18-yard box, and they got to retake the goal kick. That never made any sense to me. So yeah, there's some changes, I agree, but that handball one is mental. I don't like it at all. Stephen Booker said rather be the best than the biggest. No reason why long term, mate, we can't try and be both. Still haven't been able to get a black and gold goalkeeper shirt, said John Cable. I think they've been available, mate, in a few places, but I don't know offhand what part of the world you're in, John. Thoughts on the FA Cup draw? Easy draw for the Reds. I mean, you can look at it and say Bristol City or Shrewsbury should be an easy draw, but they're at home, we're away, they're going to be up for it. The FA Cup loves a bit of a shock from time to time. But I do think we should go with a similar team. I think that they've earned that right, that the young players get to go and have a crack again in the FA Cup. What else have we got? Nike definitely has a bigger reach. Fans in certain parts of the world can't get kits, said Aidan Andrews. Yep, I fully agree with you on that one. Again, Aidan, I've no doubt that was part of the reasoning that Liverpool went with Nike. Like, we can talk about the obvious things, like the fact that Liverpool want to break into the Chinese market and Nike can help them there. We can talk about the fact that Nike have the likes of LeBron James, Drizzy, Serena Williams going to be ambassadors, if that's the right word, to help push Liverpool out there as well. But getting right down to the basics of it, it's down to supply and demand. And if Liverpool fans want to buy shirts, want to buy training gear, then the club are going to want to have that available, particularly now that they have that rumoured 20% merchants cut of any sales of Liverpool products with Nike. Craig, what did you think of expressions on Sky Sports? He's so confident. Look, I love expressions. There's no denying this. I think he is one of the most fun guys. I've had the pleasure of being around him as well. We did some filming together for 888 Sport last year. I'm hopefully going to see him next week over in London if I'm out and about there. And yeah, I love him. I think he brings a breath of fresh air. It might not be everybody's cup of tea. Some people don't like the dialect that he uses, but he is who he is on camera. That is expressions, and I love him. I think he's a really fun guy, and I hope he continues to go from strength to strength. And as I've always said, nothing but love for me towards anybody that makes content. But I'm proud to call him a friend. I'm proud to have filmed with him. I like him. He's a really, really nice fella. What have we got? Arrogant123 said, your channel's different from others. Thanks for giving fans a chance to share our views for the Tottenham game tomorrow. Mourinho will play all of his cheat cards. I like what you've done there, mate. Cheat cards. It's going to be a big test. As I said, mate, there's no doubt that Mourinho would revel in being able to take points off Liverpool. No doubt about it. But with regard to the channel, mate, it's a pleasure. Honestly, when we set this up from day one, we knew that we wanted to do something a little bit different. So the reason the channel was set up was we used to be a podcast. I just figured out the other day, thinking back, I've been involved in Liverpool related content now for 7 years. I started off just writing little articles and stuff. Then I did a little bit of podcasting for another podcast site. I don't want to say their name. I've nothing against saying their name. I just want to publicise us at this moment in time. But yeah, I did some podcasting for another podcast company. Well, they're much bigger than a podcast company, and then that led me into start my own podcast, and that had a couple of different variations. And then one day Connor said to me, why don't you move this over to YouTube? Why don't we make this a YouTube channel? And I had no experience with YouTube whatsoever. And firstly I thought, well, at the time I would have been 36, so I thought, Jesus, 36, mate, you're too fucking old. Can't be going over to YouTube at 36. They'll laugh at you. But then I sat back and thought about it, and one of the great things about doing podcasts was that I got to chat football with my mates. But one of the downsides of doing podcasts was that you didn't have instant feedback from the people that were listening to what you do. So you record your stuff, you put it out there, you hope that people enjoy it, but you don't really know anything except for the numbers that you get from the podcast hosting site. So when Connor said let's go onto YouTube, I said alright, but the first thing I want to do is make sure that it is entirely interactive. I want to do most, if not all, of our stuff live. I want to be able to chat to people as much as I can, and I don't want it to be about me. I don't want it to be about my views. I don't want it to be about Craig having a platform to spout his stuff. I want it to be a community. I want to get people involved. I want to make people feel like they're part of a family, and as we grow, everybody grows, and we all feel it's a success. It's a success together, and I think we've done that. Obviously we've had some fuck ups along the way. That's par for the course. That's what happens when you do this type of stuff. But it has changed my life in a way, not a financial way, because it definitely hasn't done that. But it has given me the opportunity to share experiences with fellow Reds around the world, and to know that there are people watching right now in Jamaica, in England, in Australia, New Zealand. It's very humbling, and it's something that I don't take for granted, and it's something that I take that responsibility seriously, and I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. So thank you again for everybody, for your support, for being here with us. We love you. We're not going anywhere. Fuck the haters, as I always say, and look, thank you for everything. What have we got? Craig, my family and I want to go back to Sir Graham. By the way, I was the person that went to the exact same hotel as you. We're going back, Rachel. We're going back in June for 2 weeks. Myself and the family have booked. Same hotel, and can't wait. Really, really loved it. And I'm sure you had a great time as well. And I can't wait to get back there in June. Shaqiri fully fit. I think he's very, very close, Grant. Of all the players who are out injured, mate, I think he's the closest one back. Brian said there are way too many podcasts, way better live on here. I have more fun on here, Brian, I'm not going to lie. I love chatting football with my mates, but it's more fun to be able to banter and have a bit of fun with you guys. Ibrahim said, Craig, it would be great if you could do a match reaction with expressions. He's really busy. I messaged him a couple of weeks back to see if I could get him on for a chat, but he's a man in demand right now and he's out and about doing his thing, so unfortunately I don't think I will be able to get him on. But if I meet up with him first, I'm over in London doing some filming with 888 Sport next week, and if I do meet up with him, I'll try and get a little something on camera with him if I can. Also next week, just to let you guys know, we'll probably have a limited amount of streams because it's a fucking crazy week for us, if I'm being honest. Connor and I were fortunate enough to be invited over to London for the launch of La Liga TV, which is launching in the UK, I think on the Sky platform. We're going to get to go over there and hopefully meet up with the likes of Guillaume Balaguer, Graham Hunter, Gaisca Mendieta, Gus Poyet, and the president of La Liga is going to be there as well. So it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for me and Connor to go over there. So we're going over to London on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'm flying back over to London on Friday to do the filming with 888 Sport. So we'll do our best to get content out next week, but it's going to be a crazy week. But don't worry, the United game will definitely be covered. TR Gaming said, would you ever collab with Redmen TV? If they ever asked, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I? They're great lads, make great content. Our door is always open. I've said that, always open. And Redmen TV, the Anfield rap, and they're people that I look up to, the people that I admire that make fantastic Liverpool content. Joanne, thank you for the super chat. Number one fan. Oh, on that actually, somebody messaged me earlier on. I think it was Domestic Butler, asking about the memberships. We're very, very, very close to getting that sorted out. It'll be in the hands of YouTube now, so we don't know when memberships will be open, but whenever they are, we'll let you guys know. And we've kept them as cheap as we can possibly do. I think 99p or 99 cent, depending on what part of the world you're in, will be the level that you can come in on the Anfield Agenda membership. So yeah, again, we're just looking forward to giving people the opportunity to use those little different emojis, to have the Anfield Agenda logo beside their name in the chat. And just because we couldn't give a shit about the money end of it, we've made it as cheap as possibly able to do it. And again, Joanne, thank you for the super chat and your support. What is La Liga TV? It is a platform, Dave, that are going to show all the La Liga games, some behind the scenes documentaries, and all information around the Spanish league, mate, and it's going to be launched on the Sky platform. It already exists. For me, I have Premier Sports here in Ireland, and they use some of the Liga TV stuff to show the Spanish games. But yeah, it's going to be basically just a platform to see all the Spanish football. Is La Liga on Sky Sports next year? It's been launched this week, mate. Well, this coming week. So when exactly it goes on the platform, I don't want to say because I don't have all that information available to me yet, but very, very soon. Brian Morris, he said, name drops all over the fucking gaff. Why not? Do you know what I mean, Brian? Why not? It's a bit of fun. If I get to, I'll tell you how I do. I would love to have a chat with Graham Hunter. I mean, fellow Baldies and all that, but I've always admired Graham Hunter. I love listening to his podcasts, and if we got 2 minutes to have a chat with him, that would be amazing. Who's gone up to the Premier League this season? Hopefully Leeds. Football Genius. I really want Leeds to go up. Who else do I want to go up to the Premier League? I don't want West Brom in the Premier League. I've said they still have an awful bang of Tony Pulis about them for me, and I'll always in my head associate West Brom with Tony Pulis. Who else has got? I wouldn't mind seeing Brentford come up. That would be fun. Fulham. I wouldn't mind seeing Fulham come back up either. What is your most underrated fan channel? God, that's a good question. There are a lot of really good channels out there that I suppose just don't have, for whatever reason, as big an audience, and sometimes it's just luck. What's my most underrated fan channel? Oh, look, I know he's in the chat and we see him a lot, but I love what Boya does. I love the dedication that he shows. I'm gonna go with my boy Boya. Yeah, so go over and subscribe to Anthony, Leicester City FC Boya. making great Leicester City content. What's my dream signing? Mbappe, Marco Verratti. Yeah, one of those two. Mbappe or Verratti. Hello, Melissa. Welcome in. Great to see you again. Does Stevie Nicol know what he's on about on ESPN? Asked Megan Nonke. Look, as a footballer for Liverpool, Steve Nicol was absolutely class, but he does talk some absolute bollocks from time to time on ESPN. Sometimes you listen to him and he talks complete sense, but I don't know, I just get the feeling, and of course I don't know Steve Nicol, but you just get the feeling sometimes that he's been a tad sensationalist. And in this day and age when people are under pressure to stand out, they're under pressure to get views, you're under pressure to get clicks, sometimes saying these little crazy things or these little over the top things can get you a little bit of attention, which can of course make your employers happy. It's one of the fucking reasons TalkSport exists, full stop. I despise TalkSport. I will never go on TalkSport. I absolutely cannot fucking stand anybody that gives Jason Cundy a job. But yeah, he does talk some tosh from time to time, but he is a Liverpool legend, Stevie Nicol. Favourite Premier League season since 1992? This one, obviously. Outside of this one, barring the end of it, I have to say I really enjoyed 13-14. There was some fucking crazy moments in that season. What else we got? Talk shite, said Stephen Booker. I think that they have that name for a reason, in my opinion. That nickname, I should say. Steve Nicol is all over the show sometimes, said Cape Town Muslim. Should we sign Shane Duffy? No, I don't think he's up to our level, to be fair. FIFA Beast. What is an appendix? Well, it depends which version you're asking me. Is it the part of your body, or is it the part of a book? But either way, what a weird question, Casper. What have we got? They pranked Nicol the other day. Robbo pretended to not know who he is. Sorry. I love Robbo. Robbo's always up for a laugh. Him and James Milner are quality. Who's the ref tomorrow? Oh, hurts me to say this, mate, but it's Martin Atkinson. Oh, it's Martin Atkinson. Yeah, he's terrible. Tell that dog to shut up. I've fucking tried over and over again, mate. It's my next door neighbour's dog. My next door neighbour is an absolute gentleman. He's an elderly fella. He's a Liverpool fan, but that dog does my fucking head in. And I'm a dog lover, but yeah, it doesn't have bark a lot. Man United fans have cut off any appendage to sign Bruno Fernandes, said Grant. I like what you've done there, buddy. Right, let me just check my notes, because I'm sure there's a few other bits and pieces that I haven't quite talked about yet. Oh, yes! I meant to say this to you guys yesterday. I've been looking forward to this. Let me just get settled in, loosen up a little bit before I go on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, Everton Football Club and their fans are the gift that keeps on fucking giving. I'm sure you've read over the last few days, but angry Everton fans showed up at Finch Farm, which is their training complex, to have a go at the players for underperforming, specifically because of the way they were knocked out of the FA Cup by a young Liverpool team that they believe Klopp put out and didn't even want to win the game. The problem is that apart from being ridiculously fucking embarrassing for their football club and the rest of their fans, they couldn't even get that right because the players had a day off. So when they showed up at the training ground to confront the players, they weren't there. Everton fans, ladies and gentlemen, the gift that keeps on giving. And they wonder why they're called the bidders. I don't know. And then there's this wonderful, wonderful article that's floating around as well. I'm sure you guys have probably seen. I think it's from a site like it's a grandoldteam.com or something like that. Where if you haven't had a chance to read this, please Google it, go check it out. Go over to Anfield Agenda's Twitter account, go back to our tweets. I put a link to it up on there. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is everything you want to read from an Everton fan. It is whinging about Liverpool being a global behemoth. It's whinging about the fact that they've got nothing to do with the city. It's whinging about the fact that their lives have been destroyed by Liverpool being successful. It is unbelievable. It is like you sat down and got somebody to write everything you've always thought that Everton fans think in this one brilliant article that makes them look like an absolute bunch of fucking mugs. Oh, it's great. It's great. What have we got? How's Pickford, Craig? Haven't seen him in a while. I don't know. I don't know. Has anyone seen the video somebody put out where the lad has two wooden spoons and he's doing his Jordan Pickford impression? He's only got little arms. You gotta laugh at the clown, said Ryan. Mate, it is fucking brilliant. The last couple of days around Everton has just been hilarious. I actually had the word Everton muted on Twitter because there was so much stuff coming up about them that I just couldn't cope. My timeline was just overdrawn with funny Everton moments. What else we got? Someone posted a great meme the other day saying that even Evertonians' fixture list is laughing at them. Ha 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 ha. Home away, home away, home away. I like it, mate. Well in. Do I rate Bruno Fernandes? I went through this a little bit earlier on, Tony, mate. No, not yet. I can see glimpses of brilliance in him, but you've got to take anybody doing something in the Portuguese league with a massive pinch of salt. He's done it a little bit for Portugal, to be fair, but the numbers he was putting up in the Portuguese league don't impress me because it's not the greatest quality of leagues, to be fair. That's not to say he won't go on and continue to develop and be a good footballer wherever he ends up, be that United or wherever. But he's not somebody that if United sign, I'm sitting here worrying about. No, not at all. TR Gaming said, Craig, have you seen your reactions to the Curtis Jones goal? Classic. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, mate, from time to time when we're doing these celebrations, but yes, I did enjoy that one. Hi, Craig. Night score on Saturday afternoon, Spurs versus Liverpool. I'm going for 3-1, mate. Like that image says. Let me just change this image back because I feel like we need to have the Sadio Mane one back there because he's a fucking don. Look at him there with his African Footballer of the Year trophy sitting in this throne where he rightly belongs. Could Maddison replace Adam Lallana? You bet your ass he could, mate. James Maddison's a wonderful footballer, Casper. Another player strongly linked with Manchester United, but another player that won't be going anywhere anytime soon because Leicester aren't in a position where they need to sell. And I've also said this a couple of times. I believe that James Maddison's in the right place for his development right now. I think he should stay at Leicester for another 18 months or so and continue to develop. Boya said Slimani was like Ibrahimovic in the Portuguese league, and just didn't work out for him. Back to Mane, said Ryan Walsh. Yes, this is a Sadio Mane appreciation stream, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you agree with my thought process that Mane should be up there for the Player of the Year award this season. And give me your best Sadio Mane moments, what you love about Sadio, and anything else Sadio related, because this is a Sadio propaganda stream. Maddison is a United fan. It doesn't really matter a job, mate. At this moment in time, Maddison wants to look after his career. And he wants to win things, and he wants to look back and show his kids and his grandkids that he achieved something. And at this moment in time, he ain't going to be achieving too much at Manchester United if he goes there. Morton said, God damn, that's next to your chair, Craig. It is a belter, isn't it? She's a beaut, that chair Sadio's sitting on. He's extremely humble, Shay. You're right, mate. That is one trait about Sadio Mane that we need to put out there and reiterate. He is such a likeable fella, such a down-to-earth fella. Yeah, I love Sadio. You always see some lovely pictures of him as well, out and about doing his thing, at mosques, having pictures. He just seems such a humble, lovely guy. Sadio against Arsenal was Big Man Steve's favourite moment. Lens-based media said, can we talk about Michael Edwards using Jedi mind tricks again to sell Alan Rodriguez de Sousa for $2.5 million with a sell-on clause? If I'm right, mate, that sell-on clause is 10%, if I remember correctly. Even though he never played a game for us and we bought him for £500,000. Yeah, he's brilliant. I mean, Michael Edwards is the best at what he does, in my opinion. And to move him back to Brazil, I think it was, if my memory's correct, for $2.5 million with a 10% sell-on clause is great. It's a shame he was never able to play a competitive game for Liverpool because of the work permit issues. Doug said that goal against Bayern where he twists and turns Neuer inside out was his favourite Sadio Mane moment. Best Mane moment scoring against Jordan Pickford, said Casper. Patbot said, I think Trent should get the LFC Player of the Year. He's got to be up there in the conversation. Somebody made a great shout earlier on though, Pat. He's still eligible, isn't he, for the Premier League Young Player of the Year, and he's got to be a shoe-in for that, surely. Carra was a bidder, and then look what he did for us at Dave Smith. I think, if my memory's correct, Dave, I think Robbie Fowler was an Everton fan as well, and I think Steve McManaman was an Everton fan before they played for the Reds. Could be wrong on that, but if my memory serves me right, I think they both were. Who would you rather have, Salah or Mane? Sorry, Martin, I don't do those questions, mate. And the reason I don't do them is, why would I have to? We've got both. We need to enjoy having Salah and Mane here and not worry about which one's better or who we should sell, or you could only have one or the other. We're in a very nice position, Martin, where we have them both at the football club, and we should be enjoying them and holding them both up and in the esteem that they deserve to be held up. I'm not buying into this shit about Sadio being greedy, Salah being greedy, one of them not liking the other. It doesn't matter. They push each other on. They do like each other. They're teammates. They're wonderful, and we're so privileged to have those two wonderful footballers at our club. But again, that circles back around to Michael Edwards, doesn't it, and Jurgen Klopp and their brilliant business. Actually, I don't know, was Edwards here when we signed Sadio Mane? I can't remember if he was in at that point. Do I rate Minamino? Yes, I do, mate. 7.25 million quid. What does that buy you these days? Yeah, bargain, an absolute bargain. And Lallana's an Everton fan as well, as Connor's just pointed out. Yes. Mane goal against Bayern was the best for Cape Town Muslim. PH Gamestone said Liverpool champions of the Premier League. Fingers crossed, buddy. Fingers crossed. Conor Nibbler, how are we? The Cop Council said, hey Craig, I agree that Mane should be up for the Premier League Player of the Year, but would you consider Jordan Henderson to be in with a shot? No, and here's why. It's because his position isn't sexy enough and he doesn't have stats to, bash up the propaganda. But Jordan Henderson is really, really underrated. And on last night's stream, we spoke about the fact that the Monterrey manager actually singled out Jordan Henderson as the best in the world for him in his position. And I love Jordan Henderson. I'm up for giving Jordan Henderson any accolades you want. I just don't think that the wider public would appreciate Jordan Henderson the way a lot of Liverpool fans appreciate Henderson. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans are now starting to see what exactly it is that Jordan Henderson brings to that Liverpool midfield, apart from an unrelenting work rate, unselfishness, and a great eye for a pass as well. Diana Ross is a Liverpool fan. Great penalty taker. Yeah, that was shocking, wasn't it? Going old school here, Brian, back to USA 94, where she strolled up in her high heels, missed completely, but yet the net still broke open. One of the cringy moments of USA 94. Samuel L. Jackson is a Liverpool fan. Stephen Booker, yes, as is Robert Carlyle, who's an amazing actor. Who would you want to sign in January the most at Liverpool? I'd take Sancho, I'd take Mbappe, I'd take Verratti, I'd take Kai Havertz, I'd take Timo Werner. Who else have we been linked with? I spoke yesterday about the fact that we've been linked with Leon Bailey as a possible second option if a move for Jadon Sancho didn't quite work out. So any of those, mate, would do me fine. We do need a left back to challenge Robbo as well, unless of course Kloppo looks at Larouci or Adam Lewis and thinks, yeah, we can make do with those two because one of those will push on, much like we're starting to see young Neco Williams on the right side as well. Bill Burr is a Liverpool fan. Now that I didn't know, Stephen. I fucking love Bill Burr. As you guys know, I'm a massive stand-up comedy geek, and Bill Burr is up there with the best of them. Hendo soon to be a Premier League, World Cup winning, Champions League winning and Super Cup winning captain, said Aidan Andrews. What have we got? Carlisle played a Liverpool fan in some movie. The 51st State was the film, Nathan. The one with Samuel L. Jackson was in it, which I believe led to Samuel L. Jackson becoming a Red. Chukwueze would be good for us at Bassett 12. Obviously he's still a Villarreal, if my memory's correct. Samuel Chukwueze does look like a very good raw talent. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Inaki Williams hype when he broke through. But yes, definitely something we've been linked to, Bassett, in the past, and somebody worth keeping an eye on. My next door neighbour's dog is an Evertonian. She's actually a red setter, which is weird. So she could be an Evertonian. Although my friend had one of those dogs and they called it Blue. I don't know why. Craig, you doing a watch along for the McGregor versus Cowboy? We're talking about it, Joe. I think Connor's going to be here for that fight because we're playing United the next day, obviously. I'm going to be watching the McGregor versus Cerrone fight. I don't know if we'll do a watch along of it or not. Maybe we'll leave that till a little bit closer to the date to figure it out. Caroline Wozniak is a Liverpool fan as well, so Joanne Fisher. Yep. Regular visitor to Anfield. What players do you think are too good for their famous 6 Premier League clubs? Oh God, mate, that's something I'll need to take time to think about. Sorry. Damian Lewis, obviously from Billions as well, another red. Rangers manager Stephen Gerrard is also a Liverpool fan. Yes, he is, mate. And potential Liverpool manager down the line as well. I would join the watch-alongs at TR Gaming. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait till closer to the time to see on that one. Right, ladies and gentlemen, before we finish up, we've got a few more minutes to go. Keep your comments coming. What do you want to talk about? Give me your favourite Sadio Mane moments. Morton said, ooh, I love Billions. It's fucking class, isn't it, Morton? Morton, excuse me. It's absolutely class, mate. I've been fortunate enough to be watching it from the very first episode, and if you haven't watched Billions yet, watch it. It's brilliant. So is James Bond, Daniel Craig, another Liverpool fan as well. So Craig Crosby, and you're spot on. Connor has put in our link to our second channel, Crack On, there, which is where we do any watch-alongs, or we're going to start doing watch-alongs of any non-Liverpool related stuff. So we did the watch-along for the what fight did we do last time? What fight did we do? Oh, it was the fucking KSI Logan Paul fight we did on that channel. So yeah, if you do want to check out that one, the link is there to go over and sub to that. Be lovely to push that one towards 1,000 subscribers. I think we're at 500 and something at the minute, if my memory's right, but I can't remember. It's been a while. What's my favourite song and film? My favourite film, Goodfellas, A Bronx Tale. I like Jerry Maguire as well. It's a little bit cheesy, but I do like it. What else do I like film-wise? Don't Be a Menace to South Central, but Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. All of the Friday films obviously are class as well. My favourite song, jeez, I don't know, you know. You can pick a handful of Oasis songs. Garth Brooks, I love Garth Brooks. I've got a really varied taste in music, right through from rap to country music to pop to soft rock. Yeah, I mean, asking somebody their favourite song, it's almost impossible. Do you know one that I always go around singing? It's a little bit cheesy, but it's I am the one and only, nobody I'd rather be. I am the one and only, you can't take that away from me. That. Yes, that one. I like that song. The Usual Suspects is a great film. Yeah, it is. It's an absolute belter, mate. Don't want to give away the ending, though. Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's got to be up there. A bit of Def Leppard, yeah. Do I like Guns N' Roses or the Script? Not really. I appreciate both of them, but I wouldn't be massive fans of either. I like Your Sugar on Me, said Cocky Irish Guy. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't understand where we're going with this Pour Some Sugar on Me, somebody suggested that should be the theme song for our channel. The Crow, I haven't seen The Crow, you know, Morton, I gotta be honest. What else we got? The Dalai Lama as a Liverpool fan. I love it. There's just loads of people putting in Who Sports Liverpool. Keep it coming. You know what, ladies and gents, I don't think I've said it on this stream yet. If you are enjoying tonight's stream, please do hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. We do regular streams on here at night time, and we do watch-alongs of every Liverpool game as well. All our content is absolutely 100% free and always will be. And yeah, if you like it, hit the like button, give us a thumbs up, keep the comments coming. Have I seen the film Leon? Yes, I have seen the film Leon. It's a few years old, that one. French actor, I can't remember the guy's name, but yes, I have seen the film. I've enjoyed the stream, said Nick. Thank you, mate. What time are you live tomorrow? For the game, probably, I always say half an hour before kick-off. Somewhere between half an hour and 20 minutes before kick-off. Now, the reason that I say turn those notifications on is because for our watch-alongs, we don't schedule them. We just go live. When we scheduled them in the past, we've had some copyright issues for some reason. So with watch-alongs, we just go live, which is why I said make sure you've got that notification bell clicked, and then when we go live, hopefully you'll get a notification. You can come and join us for the Spurs game tomorrow. Dr. Dre is a Liverpool fan. Nice. That makes me feel better because I bought a pair of Beats recently, mate, and that makes me feel a little bit better. Kev, enjoy the rest of your holiday, buddy, and love to the family. Juicy Smoulier. The French actor from Empire. I like what you've done with that, mate. You've gone full on fucking what's his face? Jesus Christ, how can I forget his name? Oh my god. I'm gone drawing a blank here. I've just watched the stand up recently as well. How can I forget his name? This is one of those situations where I'm wholeheartedly embarrassing myself here. What the fuck is his name? Yes, Dave Chappelle. Thank you for bailing me out, Cask. Yes, Dave Chappelle talking about Juicy Smoulier in, I think it was Sticks and Stones, his latest, if my memory's correct. Why are people just picking celebrity names out of their arses now? Because it's fun, mate. It's a bit of fun. Even if they don't, let's just say it. I mean, I can't say it for certain, but I'm pretty sure that Michael D. Higgins, the Irish president, supports Liverpool. I have no idea if he does or not, but we're just pulling random names out. Mbappe is a red, said Morton. John Lennon's a red, said Malcant. Well, was a red, I suppose. Right, what else have we got? Is there any other bits and pieces? Oh yes, there was something actually in the news today. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's been confirmed that a 58-year-old Manchester City fan, named in the media as Ian Baldry, I believe, has received a 5-year banning order for racially abusing Raheem Sterling back in December 2018. This is very odd because he's a Manchester City fan that was celebrating a Manchester City goal, I believe. I think it was against Bournemouth, and racially abused Raheem Sterling. It doesn't make much fucking sense. Now, first and foremost, there is no place in our sport for this type of behaviour. Fuck it, there's no place in society for that type of behaviour. And why it's taken so long to get this man banned for 5 years, I don't know. We've seen recently with Mario Balotelli, he was racially abused, I think, by Lazio fans. And the 5-year banning order was handed out there really quickly. So I don't know why this took so long. But again, it's not something we want to see in our sport, and it needs to be stamped out. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's no place for it. I just needed to quickly report on it because it's something we spoke about before. And I'm not singling out Manchester City fans here. I'm not trying to say this is any one particular person or club's fault. All I'm saying is there's no place for this in our fucking sport. He said sorry, he's remorseful. It's always going to be stuck with him now, unfortunately, John. And he shouldn't have said it. He shouldn't have said it, and he will have to live with the consequences of that action for the rest of his life. Well, and particularly for the next 5 years, where I think he's banned from all sporting events in the EU or in Europe. If I'm right on that one, I could be wrong. I know he's certainly banned from stuff in England. Do you believe in love? Do you still believe in love? Well, I'm married, mate. I've been with the same lady for nearly 19 years now. So you bet your fucking ass. Actually, over 19 years, heading towards 20 years. So yes, of course I believe in love. Do you believe in a thing called love? Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. Sorry, had to get that in when you said the name. I'm good, discarded Ant. How are you, mate? Teletubby Poo is a red as well, said Morton. Is Kent in Ireland? No, it's in the UK, Casper, mate. What have we got? Banned for life at City in 5 years. Any other ground I think may still be wrong, said John Terry. What else we got? Still nothing being said about James McLean though. There has been a little bit, Ryan, to be fair. The media has, and I think the PFA have come out in support of James McLean, and rightly so as well. And again, much like any stuff around racism, homophobia, about people's religious beliefs as well, we have to stand behind James McLean or any other person that's subjected to sectarian abuse. Absolutely. And whether that's from either side, whether that's from a Catholic or a Protestant side, doesn't matter. No player should be abused in that way, in any shape or form. There's no room for it in the sport. There's plenty of other ways to tell them the shit if you don't like them. Who do you think the hardest opposition in Europe to stop us from retaining the Champions League is? Probably Manchester City, if I'm being honest, Naeem. Manchester City, maybe Juventus. Although I'll be interested to see how they get on in the next round. I don't really rate Real Madrid or Barcelona. Barcelona obviously beaten in the Super Cup by Atletico 3-2 last night. I don't think they're the strength of depth that they used to have. Yeah, I think it'll probably be another English club that wins the Premier League this season, hopefully, or not the Premier League. Obviously, it'll be a fucking English club that wins the Premier League. Well, I suppose. Yeah, there's no Scottish clubs. Cardiff aren't in it. Yeah, definitely be an English club. Sorry, got confused for a sec. Um, yeah, I think it'll be Liverpool, City. Connor said Atletico. I think we beat Atletico over two legs. I don't think they're as strong as they once were either. It will be a difficult game. Have to be a grind probably, but I think we'll get through. What happened to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper who did a Nazi salute? I don't remember if he got away with that or not. I think he said that he didn't understand what it was and it was a complete accident. But I can't remember how it turned out, mate. Pranav said Liverpool fan in India was involved in an accident. He needs urgent surgery. Please check out at Kerala Reds on Twitter and see what you can do. Well, obviously, from all of us, mate, wish him a speedy recovery. Obviously, I don't know what to say, mate. It's a horrible situation, and thoughts and prayers, and I don't know what else to say, mate. I genuinely hope that he makes a quick recovery. Chelsea to win the Champions League, I don't think that's going to happen, Gavin. I don't think they're quite there yet, mate. I think they've still got a little bit of developing to do. Will PSG player come to Liverpool? Any particular one? I don't mean that to sound rude, sorry. I just wondered if there was one player in particular you wanted to talk about. If Sancho came to Liverpool, would he be in the first team or the bench? What do you think? I think he would be, like any player that comes to this football club, mate, he might take a little bit of time to be acclimatised into how Jurgen Klopp wants things done, to get up to the level of fitness and pressing that Klopp wants from his players. But after that, I think he would be somebody who rotates in with the other front three players, which would allow the manager to give them a little bit more of a breather, which is what we want, because we can't expect Salah, Firmino, Mane, Minamino and to play every single game. They need a rest. We play, 60, sometimes up to 70 games in a season. Man United to win the Champions League, yeah, in 2029, maybe. Goop Hoo to you as well, Alex, mate. Goop Hoo, mate. I love that that's still going. Believe it or not, Eden Hazard has had one goal and one assist this season. That's crazy. He should be doing much better than that. Will Mbappe come to Liverpool? I don't think so, SJB. I hope so, mate. I'd love to have him here. I think we could afford him. I think that Nike would like to have him involved as well, potentially with Liverpool. I don't know. It's a bit wishful thinking. I hope so, but I wouldn't bet any money on it, mate. Is Bruno Fernandes going to Manchester United? I don't know, Casper. I mean, I'm not a Manchester United fan, mate. It's not really my place to say. United fans are hopeful. But then again, they've signed him about 9 times at this point, haven't they? I genuinely don't know, mate. United fan FC said, what's your prediction, Liverpool versus United, and do you think Bruno can help United get top 4? You're 5 points off, if my memory's correct, mate, as things stand. I don't think you're going to be consistent enough to quite get there. I think it'll be between Chelsea and Spurs, but I could be wrong. What's my prediction for Liverpool versus United? I think we'll beat you. 3-1, 2-0, 3-0, something like that. I expect a pretty straightforward afternoon, if I'm being honest. I just think we're infinitely better than United. Yeah, that's just my honest opinion. It's putting aside the whole fact that I despise your football club. I just think we're better, and particularly at home. I think you were fortunate to get a draw at Old Trafford. I do take into account the fact that you have been able at times to step it up. A game against Manchester City, when you beat them, you stepped it up, and if every single one of your players plays to the height of their potential and we have a bit of an off day, anything is capable. But I think the best you could hope for is a draw. I don't think you're going to be the one that beats us at Anfield. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm not trying to just be smart arse and belittle United for the sake of it. If I thought that it was going to be a difficult game, I would really say so. Is Robertson the best left back in the world? It's a very difficult one to say, isn't it? He's got to be in the conversation. Played for the team that won the Champions League, put up ridiculous numbers of assists last season in the Premier League along with Trent. He's got to be in the conversation, but it's subjective, isn't it? When's the next African Nations? In the summer, I believe. I know that there's another Copa America coming up. I think there's another African nations coming up this summer. Maybe somebody can help me out on that one. Good to see United fan in the chats at TR Gaming. We often get a couple of United fans that pop in, to be fair, and the ones that do are really nice people, and it's always fun to have a bit of interaction with them. Why is Salah not in there? In where? LFC Gamer. I've no idea where you're asking me where Salah is. If he's in my 11, he was, but I don't know what you're talking about, so... is Liverpool's home unbeaten run in Premier League a record? No, it's not. I think Chelsea hold that record, John Terry, and I think it's even. I think there's a bit to go yet. I think for Liverpool, I don't know the exact amount of time, but I think Chelsea still hold that record. Ryan, talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you for the kind words. What's my favourite Sadio moment? I like the Bayern Munich one, I have to say. I thought that was pure petulance of the highest order. If we've got to pick a centre-back to partner Virgil van Dijk, who would it be? Are we talking about from players that the club discarded, Ant, or are we dipping into the market? Players at the club right now, I think it's Joe Gomez's position, and rightly so. If I'm to go into the market and get somebody and money wasn't an object, look, I'm probably going to go for Koulibaly if I'm being honest, but then again, you got to look to the future. But yeah, probably Koulibaly. I know it's a shithouse answer and an obvious answer, but it's an obvious answer, I suppose, for a reason. Who do you think's the biggest flop this season? I think it's Hazard or Pepe, said Bassa12. It's difficult to call them flops because they're both getting used to new leagues. I think you always need to give players a little bit of leeway when they move to a new league. But there's no denying that neither have hit the ground running. Mane's backheel goal is another great shout there from Connor in the chat. The fact that he was clever enough with that backheel goal, I showed this to my wife actually the other day. I dragged her in to have a look at it. It was so clever because he hit it down into the ground, so it lifted up over the keeper's arm as well. Very clever and very good piece of what's the word I'm looking for? Very good piece of oh, fuck off, Craig, you dumb fuck. Improvisation, that's the word I'm looking for. Why not start Minamino against Spurs? There's no reason not to, mate. I mean, he's probably perfectly capable of playing. And my thought process was to play Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and then maybe swap him for Minamino around the 65-minute mark. Will he be in the squad for tomorrow? Yes, absolutely, Scotty. He's now available to play. He just couldn't play in the game on January the 2nd because it was, I think, whatever way the registration thing worked, it was the Everton game that he was firstly available. But 100%, mate. Salah did a back heel nutmeg against Watford. Yeah, Firmino's had some absolute belters as well. LFC Gamer. Mane's first goal versus Arsenal away was blistering. Yes, Anthony, it was a fucking beauty, mate. Nearly took the net and all off. Just pure power, class, quality. Loved it. No, it wasn't ingenuity. Improvisation was definitely the word I was looking for, Connor. Right, the Glazers are doing one last push, bringing out the Make United Great Again hats. Oh, Stephen, you always make me laugh, mate. Keep it up. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that a night. I will see you wonderful people tomorrow for the Spurs game. Make sure you've got the notifications turned on. Should be about 10 past 5. Obviously the game kicking off at 5:30. Thank you so much for everything, all your support as always. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Before you head off though, do me one little favour. Hit the thumbs up button on the stream and keep your comments coming if you're watching this and play back later on. Please do let me know your favourite Sadio Mane moment. Let me know if you agree with me that he should be up there for the Premier League Player of the Year. And if I don't speak to you guys tomorrow, have a wonderful weekend. I'll be here tomorrow. I just know some of you guys might be busy. But look, thank you as always for your support and up the motherfucking Reds.